Raila Amolo Odinga has contested for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya 4 times. In 1997, Raila Odinga contested for the presidency. And personally, I strongly believe that Raila Odinga contested to introduce himself to the national stage. In 2002, Raila Odinga never contested for the presidency, but instead he led the campaigns for Mwai Kibaki. Mwai Kibaki ended winning on a wheelchair. Then in 2007, Raila Odinga contested again for the second time now. And most Kenyans believe up to this stage, myself included, that Raila Odinga won that election. But he was never declared the president-elect of the Republic of Kenya by the system or by the deep state. Then in 2013 and 2017, Raila Odinga also contested. And most of his supporters believe that he was rigged out electronically. And that's why the Supreme Court actually nullified that election. In 2022, which is this year in August, Raila Odinga will be contesting for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya for the 5th time. And it's going to be the first time the odds are favoring Raila Amolo Odinga. In 1997, the odds were against him. He was a nobody. In 2007, he won. The state could not allow him. In 2013 and 2017, again, the states were against Raila Amolo Odinga. So the odds were against him in the previous elections. But in this election, Raila Odinga is going as a presidential candidate with the odds favoring him. The deep state is favoring Raila Odinga. President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the head of state, is also favoring Raila Amolo Odinga and has actually declared his support for Raila Odinga. We are seeing cabinet secretaries supporting his bid. But Raila Odinga must avoid several mistakes which can actually cost him the presidency. So far, Raila Odinga has support. His support base across the country cannot be questioned. Raila is the only presidential candidate in this country who has fanatical followers. I'm not talking of supporters. There's normally a big difference between supporters and followers. Like, for example, someone like William Ruto has supporters. Raila Odinga has followers. Followers would always follow him. Like if Raila Odinga were to say today that he's not going to run for the presidency, he's going to throw his voter's card in Lake Victoria, there are people who will follow him there. Just like the former Ford Asili Matiba had fanatical following. Raila Odinga has the energy. Despite the age, Raila Odinga can sustain campaigns, although not as before, but he has that energy. He has the ability to go to all corners of the republic. Remember, someone like Musalia Mudavadi once said that his body is not meant for hard work. His body is not meant for jail. Raila Odinga has that energy. He can traverse the country today, tomorrow, the other day. You know, like in the last election, this election I'm not participating in. In the last election, we would get tired at our age following Raila Odinga because you go to Mombasa today, the rally ends, the next day you are in Kajiado, the next day you are in Busia, the next day you are in which place. So we would get tired and we are like, what is this guy doing? Sometimes you just wish, at least let tungepumzika. So Raila has that energy. The other thing which Raila Odinga has is the ability to create euphoria. When you just thought that Raila Odinga is finished, that's when he comes up. Majority of his supporters had actually thought that Raila Odinga would not be able to create the euphoria. When President Uhuru Kenyatta endorsed him, most people thought euphoria was going to kick on at that stage. But it never happened. So most of their supporters, most of Raila Odinga's supporters thought that Raila Odinga was not going to create a euphoria. And when he nominated Martha Karua, most people thought that Martha Karua was not the right person. They were like, siangechukua Kalonzo. But when Martha Karua hit the ground running, there's a euphoria in the larger Mount Kenya region. Euphoria was experienced yesterday in Narok. And that euphoria is going to kick in this country. So Raila Odinga has that ability to create euphoria. Raila Odinga also has the networks, the grassroots networks. In fact, it is alleged that it's only KANU, and I think KANU network is nowadays being dismantled. It's only KANU and Raila or ODM which has grassroots support. So that even if ODM is not strong in a place, Raila Odinga can just go to the ODM database, pick the chairperson there, call him and tell him, okay, I'm coming there, can I meet with my officials? So the chairman, because ODM has, the way the structure is made is in a way that it begins at the polling station center. So it normally has 20 plus 18, that's 58 officials. So Raila Odinga, from each polling station in this country, he has 58 people supporting his bid. So he has that grassroots networks. And the other advantage Raila Odinga has is that he's normally able to reinvent himself. When you think Raila Odinga is finished, that's when he's going to kick on. And the truth of the matter is that Raila Odinga also thrives well under pressure and when you think he's cornered. But there are certain mistakes which he must avoid. In this video, I want us to look at 5 or 6 mistakes which Raila Odinga must avoid in order to defeat William Ruto. Because defeating William Ruto is not going to be a walk in the park. William Ruto has the money and is using it. William Ruto is facing this election as a matter of life and death for him. If he will win, fine. If William Ruto is going to lose this election, I think his politics is going to end. And he understands this based on several other factors, which I don't want to mention here. William Ruto is going into these elections a determined individual. And remember, William Ruto is also a student of Moi, a student of Raila, and also worked with Uhuru Kenyatta. He's been part of the system. So William Ruto also understands all these other schemes which can actually be plotted against him. So Raila Odinga must be very careful to avoid some of the mistakes. Before we get into all those mistakes, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, what are some of the mistakes which Raila Odinga must avoid? The first mistake Raila Odinga must avoid is overconfidence. You know, one of the mistakes Ruto committed in the larger Mount Kenya region is being overconfident. William Ruto was so sure that the mountain is right inside his pocket, that nothing could happen. Martha Karua then happened, and the tide is actually changing against him. Raila Odinga and his supporters believes that the odds are favoring them, that the mountain might vote for him, that Raila Odinga is going to consolidate his support base. So that overconfidence will make the team lazy around. William Ruto is a very keen politician, taking charge of everything. In fact, he said that in this country that the only politician who understands his operations is William Ruto, that if William Ruto gives you 200,000 to go and give to go and use to mobilize crowd, then he has a system of confirming whether that money actually reached. So Raila Odinga and the team must avoid this overconfidence that now they have the deep state, that, you know, there's no need for our people to go and vote because the system is with us. So that mentality, they must get rid of it. Number 2, and I think this is also important, over trusting the institutions to work. If there's one mistake which Raila Odinga has committed over the years, is over trusting the systems to work. Systems can be undermined. Systems can be frustrated. Let me give you a story of 2007. In 2007, you know, we had that 2002 And we had, I'm talking of, sorry, not 2002, I'm talking of 2013. You know, after the 2007 post-election violence, Regula was brought into the country, and one of the bodies which was mandated to be changed was the Electoral Commission, which changed to IEBC. You get? Then, Raila Odinga was so sure that the IEBC was going to conduct free, fair, and credible elections because they had changed the constitution. IEBC did a terrible job. Raila Odinga also believed that the Chief Justice at that time, William Ruto, was going to make a fair ruling. It took William Ruto only 2 minutes to deliver a ruling. William Ruto refused to accept Raila Odinga's evidence at that time. The truth of the matter is that all those happened because Raila Odinga had overtrusted the system. He was convinced that the systems were going to work, that you only needed to bring change to IEBC, you only needed to bring someone credible to head the judiciary without monitoring whatever was taking place there. So Davis Chirchir was brought purposely to manage certain aspects of the elections. So had Raila Odinga had people who are monitoring the happenings and the ongoings at IEBC, things might have changed a bit. So Raila Odinga must avoid this obsession with the trusting institution, that now I have the deep state and the system there with me. William Ruto has been part of the system. He oversaw the elections in 2013 and 2017. He understands the operations. He understands all rigging schemes. If you want to rig him, he knows how you can rig him. So he can always block those loopholes. So the only thing which Raila Odinga should be praying for is a level playing field, because I believe he has the numbers without really depending or over trusting the institutions. Number 3, I think Raila Odinga should also not be obsessed with the ODM numbers, elected members of parliament, elected senators, and elected governors. It's important for him. William Ruto, I can see in Rift Valley, is calling for 6 piece. He's right to do that. You know why? William Ruto's bedrock is Rift Valley. The other bedrock is Central. So he can tell those people to vote 6 piece. But you'll never hear Ruto going to Kakamega and talking of 6 piece. Raila Odinga must now realize that ODM as a political party has failed before to deliver the presidency to him. He must realize that there is what is called voter apathy. That if you are supporting certain individuals and these individuals are being decampaigned by Raila Odinga, then these individuals would not really feel free to go and vote. So the best thing Raila Odinga can do is just that he can issue instructions to his supporters in a better way, that they needed the numbers. Because once you have the ODM certificate, for example, and you come from Coast, you come from Western, you come from Nyanza, I mean, if you have the certificate and you won it fairly, why should you struggle? Why should you burden Raila Odinga? In the last election, Raila Odinga had to create what they were calling Nyanza Presidential Campaign Team. That Nyanza Presidential Campaign Team, its role was purely to campaign for the ODM candidates. Because personally, I don't see how or why ODM should be campaigning in Nyanza. They should only urge people to turn out in large numbers and vote. So I tend to think that Raila Odinga should look at the bigger picture, figure out, like in Kisii, if there's a candidate who is running as an independent and is popular and can mobilize these people to turn up and vote, there is an ODM candidate there who is also popular, can mobilize people to vote, the better for him. Because once he's declared the president and he sits on that seat, I can assure you, no member of parliament would want to go and oppose him. Number 3, sorry, number 4 is the politics of money. You know, because of corruption, our politics has been monetized. For you to organize a successful rally, you must give people money. There's a feeling that William Ruto and his brigades are giving people money. And therefore, Raila Odinga should also do the same. It's not possible. It's not actually practical to give people money. But people should be able to know that Raila Odinga can actually spend money in politics. They want to start seeing billboards. They want to start seeing adverts. They want to start seeing branded vehicles of Raila Odinga. They want to start seeing Raila Odinga campaign team taking the issue of the campaign seriously. They want to see Raila Odinga recruiting agents and paying. So basically, politics is about money. Ruto is spending his money. You know, do you know why William Ruto? That's why I said that Raila Odinga is the only politician with followers. William Ruto has created support base in the larger Mount Kenya region because of his money. Ability to go to church, give them 1 million. Ability to go to a youth group, give them 200,000. Though politics of money is not the best, but Raila Odinga is a Kenyan and you are in Kenya. Number 5 mistake which he must avoid is infiltration in his camp. For the first time, he's enjoying the support of the deep state, so the deep state might not penetrate his camp. But what about the informers, people working for him, but are on the payroll of William Ruto? So that whenever they meet, the information is leaked. So Raila Odinga must avoid infiltration. And normally, this infiltration normally occur because the people who come to the campaigns towards the tail end, then they come with sweet words, and they easily manage to penetrate the system. I know for several cases, like in the last election, I know several cases. And lastly, the last mistake which Raila must avoid is underrating the influence of social media. Social media in this country and the world over is changing narratives. I saw in Homa Bay how a lady by the name Atieno Bensoda Nyariesu managed to create euphoria just through her videos. Her videos started trending just a few weeks to the nominations. So by the time the people of Homa Bay were going for the nominations, Atieno Bensoda had trended all over. Everybody now knew Atieno Bensoda. They could even put face to the person because of social media. William Ruto has managed to use social media so well to propagate his propaganda. Yesterday in Narok, the rally was so huge, but they were able to create that fake video of people walking out on Raila and shared it. You know what happened during Kibaki's funeral when the grandson was, a video of grandson refusing to greet Raila Odinga was also shared. So social media plays an integral. And because Raila Odinga needs the support of the youths, all youths in Kenya have smartphones. They have Twitter, they have TikTok. The reason Rigathi Gachagua is not being embraced, in my view, is because it's not appealing to the young people. Rigathi Gachagua is not appealing to the young people. His face, like if you had Joho versus Rigathi, people would go for Joho. Social media, a very powerful tool. Raila Odinga and his team, the way I'm looking at it, are depending on the goodwill of his supporters. They are not taking the matter of social media seriously. They are going to pay the price if they continue like that. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye bye.